Story 1. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me he had grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. Story 2. And did you exchange a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in a cage? Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Story 3. There are some great ones here. For me, as I get older, I woke last night to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wondered. I started humming a song from 1962. Isn't it funny how the night moves, when you just don't seem to have as much to lose? Strange how the night moves, with autumn closing in. Bob Seger, Night Moves. Story 4. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star in somebody else's sky, but why can't it be in mine? Story 5. Tired of lying in the sunshine, staying home to watch the rain. You are young, life is long, and there is time to kill today. Then one day you find 10 years have gone by. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. You run and run to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking, racing around to come up behind you again. The sun is the same in a relative way, but you're older, shorter of breath, and one day closer to death. Story 6. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I would like to do is to save every day, until eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. Story 7. Just know that you could hurt me, and with my last breath, I would apologize for the mess. Emotional, dramatic, hyperbolic, yes. But if you haven't felt that way about someone special, then you haven't met the right person yet. Story 8. Well, maybe there is a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot someone who outdrew you. Story 9. Remember the time I spilled a cup of apple juice in the hall? Please tell Mom this is not her fault. Story 10. I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart, and I will feel. Story 11. Some people stay far away from the door if there is a chance of it opening. They hear a voice in the hall outside and hope that it just passes by. Some people live with the fear of a touch and the anger of having been a fool. They will not listen to anyone, so nobody tells them a lie. I know you are only protecting yourself. I know you are thinking of somebody else, someone who hurt you. But I am not above making up for the love you have been denying you could ever feel. I am not above doing anything to restore your faith if I can. Some people see through the eyes of the old before they ever look at the young. I am only willing to hear you cry because I am an innocent man. Oh yes, I am. Some people say they will never believe another promise they hear in the dark because they only remember too well that they heard somebody tell them before. Some people sleep alone every night instead of taking a lover to bed. Some people find it easier to hate than to wait anymore. I know you do not want to hear what I say. I know you are going to keep turning away, but I have been there, and if I can survive, I can keep you alive. I am not above going through it again. I am not above being cool for a while. If you are cruel to me, I will understand. Some people run from a possible fight. Some people figure they can never win. And although this is a fight I can lose, the accused is an innocent man. Oh yes, I am an innocent man. You know you only hurt yourself out of spite. I guess you would rather be a martyr tonight. That is your decision, but I am not below anybody I know. If there is a chance of resurrecting a love, I am not above going back to the start to find out where the heartache began. Some people hope for a miracle cure. Some people just accept the world as it is. But I am not willing to lay down and die because I am an innocent man. I am an innocent man. Oh yes, I am an innocent man. Story 12. Just about anything Lane Staley wrote reflects his awareness of his crippling heroin addiction, which he knew was killing him. He wrote about his struggles with addiction, the overdose death of his close friend Andrew Wood, and the challenges of fame. The song Nutshell is brief but incredibly emotionally heavy. Story 13. Steel Panther Community Property. I would give you the stars in the sky, but they're too far away. If you were a hooker, you know, I'd be happy to pay. If suddenly you were a guy, I'd be suddenly interested. 'Cause my heart belongs to you. My love is pure and true. My heart belongs to you, but my love is for everyone. Story 14. I have been afraid of change because I built my life around you. However, time makes you bolder, children grow older, and I am getting older as well. Story 15. Was it a millionaire who said to imagine no possessions? Elvis Costello's personal response to John Lennon. Story 16. Go to that place to get to this one. Sounds simple enough, but the more you think about it, the more meaning you see in it. The mistakes of the past haven't held you back. They are what have elevated you to the level of understanding you now possess. Without those mistakes, you would still be in a position to potentially make much bigger mistakes. I'm sorry, Mom. I have to go. I have this grave to call my home. Story 17. Thanks to producers Brian Eno and Daniel Lanoy, we have the track Bullet the Blue Sky, a piece that captures the essence of a war zone within the concept of freedom. The guitarist and bassist were at odds over which key to play, but despite this conflict, it remarkably worked. As a man breathes into a saxophone, you can hear the city groan through the walls. Outside is America. Story 18. If the sun refused to shine, I would still love you. When the mountains crumble into the sea, there will still be you and me. Story 19. From the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes into hours? Story 20. Trigger warning. Let me tell you about the woman I'm with. She told me nobody loves her. That's why she cuts her wrists. It's not enough for the hospital, but she cuts it close. That's why she wants to get high because she's feeling low. She told me to pour her vodka, give her a pill, and a little smoke so she could numb her insides, and we would never know. I cry every time I hear this part. It's called Girls on Drugs by Whale if anyone wants to cry too. Story 21. And if you go, I want to go with you. And if you die, I want to die with you. I will take your hand and walk away on a lonely day. Story 22. Well, outside in the cold distance, a wild cat prowled. Two riders approached, and the wind began to howl. Story 23. I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. Sober by Tool. 1993. That last part especially. Story 24. I have a feeling you got everything you wanted, and you're not wasting time stuck here like me. You're just thinking it's a small thing that happened. The world ended when it happened to me. Story 25. You call me again just to break me like a promise. So casually cruel in the name of honesty. Story 26. I see them every day. We get along, so why can't they? If this is what she wants and it's what he wants, then why is there so much pain? Story 27. Home is where the needle marks tried to heal my broken heart, and it might not be such a bad idea if I never went home again. Why don't you stop using drugs? Well, it's easy for you to say. Story 28. My friend came home after serving 20 years. He returned to selling drugs and looked at me, saying, just so you know, I'm wearing high-quality bricks from head to toe. The fabric we are made of is pure loyalty. 12 gold bullets, Chanel mask. You know it's me. Story 29. I believe you often go unheard, thinking someone has it worse. You have been minimized so many times that you feel it's deserved. I think you have been silent since your youth because every time you speak your truth, you are stigmatized and re-traumatized by all the things you didn't choose. I don't mind your darker side. You can lose control. I would rather hear about your struggles than witness your silence. Story 30. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange? I am still me. You are still you. In the same place. Isn't it strange? How people can change. From strangers to friends. Friends into lovers. And strangers again. This affected me when I heard this song playing in a Ted Lasso episode because I had just been dumped by the love of my life, and it described exactly how it felt between us. It still hurts to hear those lyrics. Story 31. I don't know what you think you can earn, but I know life can be an unbearable struggle. To those who have been truly affected, keep planting flowers. You were never invisible to me. Keep planting flowers and stand by your beliefs. The first time I heard the song at a concert, I stood there and cried. Story 32. Anything by David Berman and Purple Mountains is worth listening to, especially this line. When the dying is finally done and the suffering subsides, all the suffering is done by the ones we leave behind. I highly recommend listening to Purple Mountains. David took his own life shortly after the album release before they toured. Story 33, No Mients No, All Lies. Opening lines. Lies are the words I use when you look up hopefully. All the things we feel are a trick, a fantasy. Story 34. I just want to sell out my funeral. I fought until the lights were gone. I'm sorry I don't laugh at the right times. Is this what it feels like with my wings clipped? I feel awkward and nervous. Story 35. I am drowning. There is no sign of land. You are coming down with me, hand in unlovable hand. Story 36. Everybody lies. What is the big deal? It's impossible to know what is and isn't sealed. Faith is the lie we tell ourselves. Life is the lie we tell everybody else. Bik Chasnut. Story 37. Year after year, their numbers grow fewer. Someday, no one will march there at all. The band played Waltzing Matilda, with the Pogues having the definitive version. Story 38. Hate me. You can finally see what's good for you. You never doubted my opinions on things like suicidal feelings. You made me compliment myself when it was too hard to bear. Story 39. All my friends are turning blue, and I can't sing along with you. Restless nights and scenic feuds make me regret the things we didn't do. They passed us right by. Story 40. I would rather be in a dark hollow where the sun never shines than be home alone, knowing that your absence would drive me mad. Story 41. I need to get sober and start living right. I don't know how it's going to go, but it's not going to happen tonight. So pour them down strong until I drown. If I wake up tomorrow when the sun comes back around, I will be wishing I was sober. Story 42. Repugnant is a creature who would squander the ability to lift an eye to heaven, conscious of his fleeting time here. Story 43. Hey Lucy, I remember your name. I left a dozen roses on your grave today. I'm in the grass on my knees, wiping the leaves away. I just came to talk for a while. I have some things I need to say. Lucy by Skillet. Story 44. Silent lucidity. Living twice at once, you learn. You're safe from the pain in the dream domain. A soul set free to fly. A round-trip journey in your mind. Master of illusion, can you realize? Your dream is alive. You can be the guide and we'll be watching over you. Story 45. And if I die before I learn to speak, can money pay for all the days I lived awake but half asleep? Story 46. Our paths will never cross again, and that's the way you wanted it. You never cared about how we ended. I don't know you, though I used to pretend to. We're nothing but myths now, and neither of us believes in them. This is not the best song to play just after a breakup, especially when my ex didn't even want to see me in person to return each other's belongings. Story 47. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stared too long, I would probably break down and cry. Story 48. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star in someone else's sky. But why? Why can't it be mine? Story 49. The amplifier is dusty and sits in the corner by a bartender who will pickpocket your heart and a jukebox that will steal your quarter. Bartender, please give me a confession. Exchange fear for courage in the form of a well drink. Story 50. This can't be my house. How can this be home? I don't recognize it anymore. Story 51. There is no way to express how I truly feel, knowing that I am not everything you desire. Story 52. The game of life is hard to play. I will lose it anyway. The losing card I will someday lay. So this is all I have to say. Story 53. You can have my isolation. You can have the hate that it brings. You can have my absence of faith. You can have my everything. Story 54. And I'm frightened for your children that the life we are living is in vain and the sunshine we have been waiting for will turn to rain. Story 55. For me, it's lost track of all space and time. Never thought I would find myself in the hands of the true devil. I might die from the overdose. Story 56. When peripheries its only smiles gets you in the zone. The lyric death is true and I'll be missing you can hit really hard. Also, in the rhyme by Scratch 21, the lines resonate deeply. This life is a tough game and I don't want to play it. I'm reaching for a hand. Help me make it. But it's too much, so I give up. Please don't hate me. My letters on the pillow with a kiss goodbye. I'm sorry, Mom, but I promise that I tried. Story 57. Fetch me the spirit of the Son and the Father. Tell them their pillar of faith has ascended. It is time now, my time now. Give me my wings. This concept is also explored in The Grudge by Tool. Story 58. You can choose a rainy guide or a celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you have still made a choice. Free will. Rush. Story 59. You will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. Yusuf Islam, father and son. It feels even heavier when you know it's about a son wanting to run away and join a revolution. Story 60. 9-inch nails. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that is real. Story 61. Life is a lesson. You learn it when you are through. Or pretty much anything from Rammstein, in my opinion, especially Hayfish. Story 62. Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit. Pastoral scene of the gallant South. The bulging eyes and the twisted mouth. Scent of magnolias, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Story 63. Keep Me in Your Heart for a While by Warren Zevon. Sometimes when you are doing simple things around the house, maybe you will think of me and smile. You know I am tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Story 64. I miss you, even though you left for a day. I haven't forgotten you. To be honest, I'll erase you now because it hurts me less than resenting you. Story 65. Well, I think I Keep Dancing on My Own by Robin. The lyric, I'm right here, why can't you see me, is quite poignant. For some reason, it feels brutal. Additionally, Radiohead's Creep and the Smiths' How Soon Is Now are equally haunting from a male perspective. Story 66. Maybe in another life I could find you there. Pulled away before your time, I can't deal. It's so unfair. And it feels like heaven is so far away. Feels like the world has grown cold now that you've gone away. Story 67. We all carry things inside that no one else can see. They hold us down like anchors. They drown us out at sea. I look up to the sky. There may be nothing there to see. But if I don't believe in him, why would he believe in me? Chelsea Smile, Bring Me the Horizon. Story 68. Right now, Architect's whiplash is intense. Especially the second verse. Did you bury your neighbor in the earthquake? Were you sitting by, smoking a gun? Light a fire in the shrine. We're the absolute. Christ preaching to the scum. Story 69. Streets of Philadelphia. Ain't no angel gonna greet me. It's just you and I, my friend. My clothes don't fit me anymore. I'd walk 1,000 miles just to slip the skin. Beautiful song. This line always resonates deeply. Story 70. We all fell down from a tired, dying star. Stardust on the breeze, the picture and avatar. From nothing into all and then the next thing to arrive is the terrifying fear of how you're supposed to live your life. Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. Story 71. Just one more kid who will never go to school, never get to fall in love, never get to be cool. Rocking in the free world. Story 72. Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard you call. I wanted to sail upon your waters since I was 3 feet tall. Story 73. I'll ask my love, what will she say? What's it like to live with me here every day? But she stays exhausting, exhausting, exhausting in her most gentle way. On a more lighthearted note, Pete Wentz rhyming Ambien with Sam I Am on an obscure Fall Out Boy B-side, and Kurt Cobain somehow making analingus rhyme with marijuana. Also, 3OH. 3 might have been a flash in the pan, but we were all shocked by Tell Your Boyfriend if he says he's got beef. that I'm a vegetarian and I'm not scared of him. Story 74. Are you moving too fast? And the good times just don't last? If you're always on the go, make an angel in the snow and freeze. The breeze, Dr. Dog. Story 75. I have tried so hard to tell myself that you are gone, but though you are still with me, I have been alone all along. Evanescence demonstrates the power in Amy's voice, complemented by dramatic piano in the non-band version, which makes this song impactful. Story 76. Tyrell Hines and his song, We're All Going to Be Killed, includes the lyric, he tried to save the world. He couldn't do it on his own. We strive to be better people every day, hoping the world improves as long as we occupy space in it. For the world to get better, everyone must improve. And it's challenging to do so when those in power pursue their own interests. It's difficult to desire a better world when many persist in cynicism and inflicting harm through unreasonable bias. Story 77. Judas Priest, the Ripper. I'm a nasty surprise. I'm a devil in disguise. I'm a footstep at night. I'm a scream of fright. Story 78. I woke up alarmed. I didn't know where I was at first, but I woke up in your arms, and almost immediately I felt sorry. Angel, I'm sober. I got off that stuff just like you asked me to. Baby, forever. Well, it's Tuesday now. I hear him breathing inside of her. I think you've got a low self-opinion, man. I see you standing all by yourself. Story 79. And if you listen carefully, the tune will come to you at last when all are one and one is all. Story 80. Lana Del Rey, Body Electric. We get down every Friday night, dancing and grinding in the pale moonlight. Grand Ole Opry. We're feeling all right. Story 81. Funny. The day you're born is really your death sentence. Donald Glover, also known as Childish Gambino Life, the biggest troll. Story 82. And then it comes to be that the soothing light at the end of your tunnel is just a freight train heading your way. I don't know why this always stuck with me, but I have always interpreted it to mean don't relax until you're there because something could change, and you have to be ready. Story 83. There are many great lyrics out there, and the one I am currently obsessed with is, I don't want to learn another scent. I don't want the children of another man to have the eyes of the girl that I won't forget, from the song Undressed by Somber. Story 84. You can say you're a call away, but I only wanted you to stay. I mentioned this before, but I can't help that Shoreline is a huge favorite of mine. It's hard to pick just one lyric. Story 85. A grandmother smuggling medications past where the child soldier Satanta stood deceased. Our graceful turner of heads weaves through the checkpoints like a needle and thread. Someone's frightened boy waves her on. She offers a mother's smile, and soon she is gone. This entire song is significant. Hosier wrote Swan upon Lita after the repeal of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court. It addresses how gods and men fear the power of women and attempt to control it. The title references Zeus taking the form of a swan to assault Leda in Greek mythology. Story 86. I am smeared across the page and covered in gasoline. I wear you like a stain, yet I am the one who is obscene. Story 87. You never know until the end, my friend, what your love is really worth. Show me someone afraid of living, and I will show you someone who has never made mistakes. Story 88. It is not the being alone. It is not the empty home, baby. You know I am good on my own. Baby, you know it is more about being unknown. And there are some people love who are better unknown. Story 89. Paper is lifeless without words. Ink stagnant without poetry. The world is lifeless without stories, love, and disarming beauty. Careless realism costs souls. Story 90. Kick out the gloom. Kick out the blues. Tear out the pages with all the bad news. Pull down the mirrors and pull down the walls. Tear up the stairs and tear up the floors. Oh, just burn down the house. Burn down the street. Turn everything red and the beat is complete. With the sound of your world going up in fire. It's a perfect day to throw back your head and kiss it all goodbye. Story 91. Oh, Elise, it doesn't matter what you do. I know I'll never really get inside of you. to make your eyes catch fire the way they should, the way the blue could pull me in, if they only would. At least I'd lose this sense of sensing, something else that hides away. From me and you, there are worlds to part, with aching looks and breaking hearts, and all the prayers your hands can make. Oh, I just take as much as you can throw, and then throw it all away. Story 92. The entirety of Carolina Drama, by the Raconteurs, culminates in the line. Just then his little brother came in, holding the milkman's hat and a bottle of gin, singing, la 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 la, la 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 la, yeah. Story 93. I will drown my beliefs to have your children. I will dress like your niece and wash your swollen feet. Just don't leave, don't leave. Story 94. You know that old trees just grow stronger, and old rivers grow wilder every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say, hello in there, hello? So if you're walking down the street sometime and spot some hollow, ancient eyes, please don't just pass them by and stare as if you didn't care. Say, hello in there, hello? This resonates with me as I see my parents slip away. I'm 47 now, and John Prine was 22 years old when he wrote that. I'm fortunate to have my family around still. I slow down and talk more. I used to be frustrated with how slowly older folks move, but I now realize that the rush is pointless. Story 95. This one always gets to me. The used buried myself alive. I guess it's okay. I spent the day feeling overwhelmed. I guess it's better you confine yourself in your own way. And if you want me back, you're going to have to ask. Story 96. I have been lonely for too long, and my heart feels pain, crying out for soothing rain. I believe I have experienced enough. Yes, I need a little water of love. Story 97. Now I am a grown man with a child of my own, and I swear I will not let her know all the pain I have experienced. Story 98. I'm the kind of love that it hurts to look at. But once I was enough to make you try. Now I'm underneath the rubble, trying not to feel the trouble. And you don't care for me enough to cry. John Moreland. Story 99. In this world I made to be infinite, I finally see within the expanse. A world without you isn't meant for me. Where do you go when I close my eyes? What do you see looking back at me? Am I just a ghost like you? Caught between the seams of two intertwining melodies. Story 100. If I were dying on my knees, you would be the one to rescue me. And if you were drowning at sea, I would give you my lungs so you could breathe. I have you, brother. Story 101. And when the lights went out, we watched our lives on the screen. I disliked the ending, but it started with an acceptable scene. Story 102. Casket's final say. It's about an abusive father who left. I will leave flowers on your grave, but I will not stay to watch them fade. Story 103. I want to free my life of emptiness. I desire a sweet demise with no regrets, but I see my mind is still a wreck. Now unapproachable, my epithet. Story 104. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to be a secret, but I will if you want me to. You can leave me in the dark if that's all I get from you. He can be the sun. I'll be the moon. And I will forever be broken and live out my days locked in a prison of my own life. Story 105. 'Cause sometimes home is where your deepest scar is. Society will try to cast you where they think your part is, giving awards and accolades to what they believe a star is. Story 106. Now his friends bring him up when they are drinking at the bar with his name on the side. They smile when they can, recalling the man who took a homemade, fan-blade, one-man submarine ride. Story 107. Try to realize it's all within yourself. No one else can make you change. And to see you're really only very small. And life flows on within you and without you. Story 108. Outside the streets are on fire in a real death waltz. Between flesh and fantasy, the poets here don't write anything at all. They just stand back and let it be. In the quick of the night, they reach for their moment and try to make an honest stand, but they end up wounded, not even dead. Tonight in Jungleland. Story 109. Fight the power comes with great responsibility. Who is stopping you from harming me? The system disrespected them but barely missed her. My sole intention is to save my brothers and sisters. Story 110. So, save your breath. I will not hear. I think I made it very clear. You couldn't hate enough to love. Is that supposed to be enough? I only wish you weren't my friend. Then I could hurt you in the end. I never claimed to be a saint. Oh, my own was banished long ago. It took the death of hope to let you go. Story 111. Warm summer night. I was drinking with my dad. He tried to give me the love that I never had, but he gave more love to his bottle of wine. So I had to go out and find love of another kind. Here it is. Here I am. Turn it up loud. Radio, radio, radio. Story 112. Daddy worked hard, but Mama worked harder. They were propped up on pain medication and pride. They were just kids when I came into this world, and I was a kid when they passed away. They would argue about money, they would argue about fighting, and they would argue about nothing at all. The car was still running when the deputy found them at the gas station by the Gun Barrel Mall. In my opinion, this is probably the most accurate modern song about life in small-town rural Appalachia. Story 113. Look at the sky tonight. All of the stars have a reason to shine, a reason like mine. And I am falling to pieces. Story 114. I don't know anything about truth, but I recognize falsehood when I see it. And it appears to me that this entire world you have created reflects that. Story 115. And these children that you scorn as they try to change their worlds are immune to your advice. They are quite aware of what they are experiencing. Story 116. What smells of cheap wine and cigarettes? This place is always such a mess. Sometimes I think I would like to watch it burn. Story 117. Ain't my job to mess with you on your birthday anymore. Seriously though, this song ends on a clever quadruple entendre. No hard feelings, Bloodhound Gang. Story 118. If I mess up with this model and she just bleached her skin, and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I will feel embarrassed. Story 119. Nas Ether was a diss track aimed at Jay-Z, which was so impactful that it prompted Jay-Z to apologize for initiating their feud. Story 120. She wore a tiny yellow polka bikini for the first time today. Story 121. She said, "Yes, can we get married at the mall?" I replied, "Look, you need to crawl before you walk. Come and meet me in the bathroom stall, and show me why you deserve to have it all." Story 122. The amazing news of the gospel is not that we can receive Jesus into our lives, but that he has already received us into his. Story 123. Gang violence as if it stands for something. When Alton Sterling was killed for no reason, two cowards in the car just there to film, screaming Black Lives Matter should have died with him. Wrong person in your neighborhood, you are going to ride on him. White person with a badge, are you going to let that slide? Tell me how they sent that footage off and slept that night. I feel bad that my daughter has to live this life. I would die for my daughter, have to fight this fight. Story 124. And now I'm here in the kitchen. I feel there's something missing. I seek forgiveness, but begging is not my concern. Up the junction, squeeze. Story 125. She said he rebuilds engines and his name is Earl. He is the Charlie Daniels of the torque wrench. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.